It is about time that we are doing this one. My God, it took us years to finally get to WCW Bash at the Beach 2000. And then when I finally scheduled the watch along, I ditched y'all last week. I'm so sorry about that. We are here to do it now. I'm excited for this one. I'm really glad I waited until this Sunday, because if we did it last week, I would have done it earlier on in the day. And, you know, I'm much more relaxed here in the evening when I can crack open a cold one, hang out with you guys. I got nowhere to be, nowhere to go. It's much better this way, so I am glad that we waited the extra week. I'm just sorry that I teased you guys with this watch along last week, and we're here doing it now. Finally, I'm excited to knock this out. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Hope your summer is going well. Hope you're having a great 4th of July weekend if you live here in the States. If you live anywhere else, I hope you're also having a good weekend, and I hope it's summertime where you live, unless you live in Australia, and it's probably wintertime, right? But outside, it's a gorgeous, 81 degrees, not a cloud in the fucking sky. The window is open, the fan is blowing, Tito is happy, cold one is open. Peacock, WCW Bash at the Beach 2000 is already pulled up, which I expect you guys to do and probably already have done by now. You guys know the drill. Over on Peacock, you want to find the final WCW Bash at the Beach of all time, the final one ever. WCW Bash at the Beach 2000, Season 7, Episode 1. The runtime tonight, according to Peacock, is going to be 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 9 seconds. So nearly a 3-hour show here, and I have no idea what to expect. I've seen the Jarrett and Hogan stuff, seen all that. I've seen the Russo promo. I've seen Booker T winning the title. That's all I've seen of this show. I have no idea what to expect. I don't even think I looked at the card. So this is going to be really fun for me, because I wasn't really watching WCW in the year 2000. If I was tuning in only to make fun of them. So really curious how this is going to look here on what has got to be really close to the 25th anniversary of this show. We'll look up the date here in just a second. So hope you guys are having a great one. We will hit play and get this one started here in just a minute. Let me just say hi to everybody here in the chat. Missed y'all. Man, I missed these watch-alongs, and it sucks. Next week's going to be weird because we have Evolution. So we're probably going to have to be up here watching that instead of a classic pay-per-view, which honestly I'd probably rather be up here watching a classic pay-per-view, if I'm being honest. Oh, let me fix some of these volume issues I have here. There we go. Now I can see all your names there. Good to see our friends like Colin Wright, Mike Rouse, Edward Underhill is in the house. Garrett Osborne is here as well. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Bash at the Beach 96. Crazy. We might have watched that on the anniversary that year. I don't remember. We watched Bash at the Beach 96 a couple of years ago. Ray Frand in the house. Good to see Tatanani as well. Fox Star Killer is dropping in $5 for us. Thanks for that, my friend. Here is promised, day off from work. That's awesome. Wasn't going to miss this company being in the damn shape it is because of BS like this. The classic Hogan line. Yeah, I'm ready to watch this one. Zach Palgett, good to see you. We got Melissa Hernandez in the house. We are pro wrestling. Might need your help, especially for a show I know so little about. We have Ben Espinoza here, Brandon McNeil, William Cullen, Ajax Johnson, Just Smitty. Let me see. Ryan Adams, think I got you. Car wreck of a show. I'm ready, man. George Morris is here with his token 5. Hey, Greg, how are you doing? And how is Tito and Elizabeth? Bash at the Beach 2005 out of 10. Unfortunately, we have to listen to Mark Madden. Be safe. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot about Mark Madden. I cannot stand that motherfucker. He's such an asshole. So we have to listen to his stupid voice. Tito is great. Is Tito visible to you guys? No, he's not. He's not visible to me either, but he's in here somewhere, and Elizabeth is doing just fine as well. Thanks for always asking about her. George Morris. Eric Guzman is here. So is the Juliet. Women's Intercontinental 3-way match confirmed for Evolution. The funny thing is, I talked about that yesterday in the podcast. I thought the match, I don't remember seeing it being official, but I've seen it on every single Evolution updated card all over the interwebs. So I kind of thought that I must have missed the announcement, but I guess it's official now. But we knew that was going to happen. Everything they've been doing has been predictable as all hell. So yeah, next week we will be here watching that. Let's see who else I can say hi to. Justin Kong Lang, Daniel Barry Sports, Alan Carter is here. David Brown is here as well. Victor Cologne, good to see you. And there's probably others I'm missing because we got some supers running in here. There's another 10 from our boy Fox Star. Thank you for that, my friend. Made some okay progress on my pay-per-view by pay-per-view 95-01 viewing project. Currently on In Your House 3. That was the weird tag match with Owen, missed it because I think Oj was being born, or Oj or Athena, and he came into the match late. Davey Boy replaced him, and Shawn and Diesel took home all the gold that night before having to give back the tag team titles to Yoko and Owen, only for them to lose them to the Guns the next night. I'm probably spoiling shit for you, Foxstar. I'm sorry about that. But that's cool that you're up to In Your House 3. What did you think about the number 2, the Shawn Jarrett match and the Lumberjack? I thought In Your House 2 was a lot of fun. Fearing I may end up having to skip WCW Mayhem 99, that show seems to have been removed from Peacock. That's weird. I wonder why. Was that the year it was Brett and Benoit for the title or something? I still don't think that would be why. Yes, We Are Pro Wrestling. Thank you. Today is the anniversary of Canadian Stampede. I watched that live on pay-per-view that night, all the way back on July 6th, 1997. That's crazy. Let me see. Juliet is hooking up Paul Hanley with a channel membership. Thank you for always doing that, the Juliet. Rob Strickland, Shane Belfast, good to see you. Jacob the Zombie Fighter is here. And there might be more as well, but I need to get started on this pay-per-view. We can talk to the chat more as we're going. Hope you guys have your popcorn out. Your Peacock is pulled up. You guys know the drill. In just a second, we're going to hit play together. That timer right there will begin to run. Let me double check that I did this. I have killed the ads on this. Yes, monetization is off, so this video will be presented ad-free. But if you do experience some interruptions on Peacock, that's what the timer is for, in case you need to catch yourself up with us or anything like that. So, you guys know what to do next. Get them fingers ready on your play buttons. I got 2 fingers to get ready. Y'all just have 1, so it's easier for you guys. All right, we're going to get this going here. As always, it's going to be a 3, 2, 1 play type of situation. You guys know that, right? All right, my finger's on the timer. My finger's on the play button. I think I'm locked and loaded. Let's try to do this without botching. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. Boom. Boom. All right. I'm like a millisecond off, but that's okay. I can live with that. Who's this guy? Who's the guy in the limo? Is that Ice Train? Oh, it's Ernest the Cat Miller. Who's the big guy? It's not Ice Train, is it? It's not Mr. Hughes. I can't understand anything Ernest Miller's saying. Somebody's banned from ringside. Where? Let's look this show up. I got to see where this is. I don't know what city it is, and I don't know the date. Let's see what we got here. Daytona Beach, of course. They love Daytona Beach. The attendance for this show is 6,500. Who are these guys? Oh, these are the Jung Dragons. I think. What the fuck? It's got to be hot as fuck out there. July in Florida. My God. Ernest is dressed way too warmly. You need shorts. Oh, okay. This took place on July 9th, by the way. So we are 3 days away from the 25th anniversary of this show. Wild stuff, man. Look at this intro for Scott Hall's con. What the fuck is this? Who are these Viking ladies now? What's going on? Jarrett and Hogan, of course, we know. Bash at the Beach presented by Masterlock. No kidding. WCW and Masterlock. It's an interesting sponsorship. I've never seen Masterlock before. I was Windexing my bathroom mirror last night, and my gummies were sitting right under it, and they were open. And so when some Windex spray fell down into that bag, so I'm eating a little bit of Windex right now. If I start hallucinating, call 911. Yeah, if you see me hallucinating in any way. Who are these guys? Is this 3 count? I'm sorry. They're not called the Spice Boys, are they? Or is this Filthy Animals? Look at Ray. Yeah, who, I remember that Nitro girl. I gotta look up what this match is called. I'm gonna keep the Wikipedia page pulled up just so I can look at these matches in case I need to see who the hell everybody is. I mean, I know everybody here. It's Conan, it's Disco, it's Ray. Who else is in there? And Hoovy. And Nitro Girl something. I forget her name. Oh, this is just a singles match. Disco is such a dork. Okay, so Conan is injured. I mean, it's still Drew. I mean, it's a decent house in there. 6,500 is not bad, you know. Back in those days, that was considered a pretty small crowd, considering what WWE was doing, was tripling that on all their Monday Night Raws, double or triple. Okay, so this has got to be some dubbed music, right? This isn't what they were coming out to, was it? Okay, I forgot about Major Guns. Wonder what Major Guns is up to. She's alive, right? We didn't lose Major Guns? I mean, she's got to be in her 50s by now. This is horrible music. So there's a lot. There's 9 or 10 wrestlers out there, and this is a one-on-one match. What does MIA mean? Oh, Misfits in Action. That's right. Major Guns. Major Guns. I'm surprised Major Guns never got a shot or a crack in WWE. It seems like she'd be perfect for all their bikini matches and shit. Right up their alley for back in those days. This is going to be one of the worst pay-per-views we've ever watched here on the channel, but I'm glad we're getting to it because this one is famous. Oh, yeah, is that Tigress? I forgot. Nitro Girl Tigress. That's right, that's who she is. Okay, so there isn't a team in this match that is called the Spice Boys. That was just Mark Madden being stupid. That's a relief. I was like, how did I forget about the Spice Boys? There's 5 earlier from Zayn. Thanks for that, dude. Today's the date. In 98, Goldberg becomes WCW or double champion on WCW Nitro. Okay. I didn't know that was July 6th. I guess I didn't know that. Interesting. Cool. So it's a anniversary of that and Canadian Stampede. That's very interesting. Mark Madden doesn't know what mano y mano means? Okay. You say so, Mark. Oh, right on, Colin. You've got two. Talking about you found the pay-per-view on Dailymotion in 10 parts. Good luck following along on that. I have a copy of this on DVD with even some DVD art. I got it in a tape trade, like right at the tail end of my tape trading in like 2000, 2001. I was doing some, no, I'm sorry. It was later on. It was a few years later when I was doing my eBay bootleg DVD business. And somebody contacted me and I did a trade. And he sent me a bunch of stuff, but he had gone through the trouble of like printing artwork to put on top of the burned DVD. But anyway, I have this show. It's in my I didn't think about pulling it out, but I've got it in my DVD albums. Oh, so okay. I just put this together that Lieutenant Loco is Chavo Guerrero. I don't know why I thought Lieutenant Loco was Lash LaRue. I get all these guys confused. What about you, Lash LaRue? Can you keep your spurs from jingling and jangling? I mean, on paper, Chavo Guerrero versus Juventud Guerrero is pretty badass. But Lieutenant Loco versus what's Juvi's surname here? What's his? I keep losing it. Oh, no, he doesn't have one. He's just Juventud. Okay, good. I don't know if he was Juvi Juice Time or Big Bad Juvi Jam, something like that. I don't know. Just regular old Juvi. Unmasked Juvi. So what's going on here? Why this is it's a singles match for the Cruiserweight title. Why is Mickey J out in the entryway there? Is he just to prevent the Cruise from getting in? What's he going to do? How's he going to stop him? A multi-time juicerweight champ. Michael Kumo, thanks for the 5. You haven't seen one match from WCW in 2000. Last WCW show you watched on TV was November 99. Last WCW show would be the last Nitro, of course. Wow, I saw a few here and there in 2000, but I never watched an entire episode. I don't remember what year this stopped, but those of you who are as old as me, do you remember watching the Monday Night Wars? And then later on at night on TNT, they would replay Nitro. So Nitro would always have a replay. And that was how I caught a lot of my Nitro stuff, is that after Raw was off the air and I did my hotline and I was all chilling out, Nitro would be airing on TNT and I would often fall asleep to it, like on my couch in my apartment. I would just try to catch up on what happened on Nitro. But I never taped it. I taped every Raw. I never taped a single Nitro, even though I have 3 seasons of Nitro complete on tape that I got in a tape trade. I never taped one on my own. What are they doing? What's with the masks? Nitro Girl's still hot. Brian Powers, you met Madden when you were working security at a Wingers Scorpion concert. That was here in San Diego at Cox Arena, no less? Sweet. Cox Arena, is that where... That's where... I'm trying to think which one that is. Oh, yeah, I've been to Cox. Oh, and Whitesnake was there, too. Jesus. Look at Bill Apter out there snapping pics. That's cool. Look at these three hideously unattractive men. Well, not Shivani. He's hot. But those other two, Mark Madden and Scott Hudson. Ugh. Tony's dreamy. We all love us some Tony, but them other two, man. The Juliet, thanks for the 2. Major Guns is an adult film actress now? Like she became one in her 50s and not one when she was in her 20s? Okay. I do remember, I thought Major Guns and, what's her face? From, why can't I think of her name? Brunette, former Divas champion. Not very good. Had the dog. Candice Michelle. I think they were both in some, like, Skinamax movies back in the day. Because I remember that shit was all over the sheets and stuff. I never saw them, but apparently they're in there. They did something. I think Bagwell did, too. That did not do Lieutenant Loco in? Jesus. Foxstar, appreciate the tenor. I've told the story before, but when WCW fired Hoovy in October, the company stupidly misnamed him Salvador Guerrero on the website, which led to Eddie calling Chavo to ask what happened. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't remember that. Now, who's this? Bill Clinton, man. Oh, yeah, because Clinton was still president. He was going to be president for just a few more months before the debacle of the 2000 election happened. I like that they're in disguise because we don't really know it's them. Chris, of course, thanks for the Twitter message. I'm surprised you haven't gotten it yet. You're getting it tomorrow, for sure then. I thought you would already been there. That holiday must have fucked things up. But yeah, check your mail tomorrow. I thought you'd already have it. But that's awesome. And thank you for 5, Chris. I've heard people... Oh, wait. Major Guns' guns are out. Let's pause for Major Guns' guns. I mean, the doctor did a nice job. I'm not going to lie. And he kicks out. I feel like this has got to be the finish. This match has been going on for 30 or 15 minutes at least. Hoovy driver. Nope, Chavo's feet were on the ropes. Answering that 5 from Chris. I've heard people speculate VKM sent Russo down to WCW to kill it, and with how bad his storylines were and bad ratings it tanked, I think it's true. It isn't, but, Chris, at the time, when those rumors were circulating, because they were circling at the time too, I did briefly think that it might have been possible. And there, Lieutenant Loco gets the win with a tornado DDT type of thing. You know, it wasn't long, but it was like, there was like a 2-month span for the Russo going to WCW and the Montreal Screwjob where I briefly thought in my head it was a work, but that was at the time. Years later, you know, damn Major Guns. Years later, I realized that, no, there's no way the Montreal Screwjob was a work for a litany of reasons that I've talked about before. And same with Russo. There was just really no reason to do that. That means the two Vinces are both in on the work. And I just think the way Vince Russo runs his mouth and all the dumb shit he fucking says on a daily basis, he would have long since spilled the beans on this. He would have admitted it, had podcasts about it, done everything he could do to monetize that as much as he could. Plus, it just doesn't add up. You know, WWE was harming themselves by sending the two heads of creative out the door during one of their hottest time periods. They're just not going to do that. You know, it's a conspiracy that just doesn't fit. But I remember at the time, like what you said, you know, it was just a big coincidence because they went there and then WCW arguably got worse and then they were dead in a year and a half after Russo got there. You know, I can understand fans thinking that maybe Vince sent Russo there to kill him. I just don't think Vince McMahon is really that smart, to be honest. Look at that TV. Do I even want to ask who these women are with Jeff, or this woman is with Jeff? So, like, is Ernest Cat the commissioner or something? This is just a fucking straight knockoff of WWE. They were just doing what they did in WWE. I remember when Russo and Ferrara started taking over on WCW when they got there, first thing you noticed was the backstage shots of the wrestlers walking through the corridor on their way to the match before the commercial break. WWE did that all the time, and WCW never did. And the minute Russo and Ferrara got there, next thing you know, you see images of Benoit walking through the corridor. When we come back from commercial, it's going to be Benoit versus so-and-so. Like, they kind of led you into what we were going to see next segment, which they never did before. And so you could see a lot of... This isn't Big Vito versus Terry Funk, is it? It probably is. And what is that? That looks like an ECW title. No, it's a WCW Hardcore. Okay. It actually kind of looks like ECW's World title, doesn't it? It's got the same kind of color scheme. So he's supposed to fight his old paisan, Johnny the Bull. This is such a cluster. That old scammer. Okay. Big Vito, Staten Island, New York. Who lives up there? Who in the chat? New York is always really interesting to me. It's the accent, I think. Yeah, Marinara. Oh, it's Dancing Norman with Ralphus. Ralphus is still around in 2000? So Ralphus is here and Jericho's in WWE. How did they not get Ralphus to WWE? How come that didn't happen? Ralphus was the best. The finger wagging and stuff that he would do. Oh. All right, so it's going to be Big Vito versus Norman Smiley and Ralphus. One of the problems I always had with Ralphus is that WCW just put him on TV because he's good looking and he's eye candy for the ladies, but he can't really wrestle, you know? Obviously, when he comes out, the ladies get really, really moist in their special places when they see Ralphus, but it doesn't change the fact that he's just not that great in the ring. You know? And I think WCW back in those days, you know, they were really sexualizing a lot of their production crew guys, having them out there in their belly shirts and stuff, and it was just kind of gross, they're human beings, they're not pieces of meat, and every time Ralphus came out to the ring, people treated him like a piece of just delicious, sexy meat, and it's just demeaning, it's demeaning because he's a strong and powerful man, but all they see is his beauty and his outer beauty. It's a sad world we live in. Oh, we're in the back now. We never even got in the ring. Does Norman still scream when he's getting attacked? Or he's dancing Norman now. He's not screaming Norman? What year was he wearing, the helmet and shit? I swear we watched a pay-per-view where he was having a match in full-blown football helmet and pads. Is that Ralphus inflicting punishment? Okay, yeah, Cox Arena. I was just making sure. Yeah, I forget that they rename it Cox, the Viejas Arena. Cox Arena, where he was telling the story of that concert. That's where I got both of my COVID vaccines, and I attended a Dynamite in that building too. Look at Ralphus going with that trash can lid. It's hard to concentrate on the action when Ralphus is exposing so much skin because you want to get an eyeful of that, I mean, you thought Major Guns was hot. She got nothing on Ralphus. Oh, he's still screaming Norman. I thought he was dancing Norman. He's screaming Norman. Norman is still at the PC, right? He didn't leave that gig. I believe he's still there. I know all the talent always loved him. Or loves him. All right, that is a waste of plastic. That is extremely irresponsible to waste all that plastic. You better pick those up and use them or recycle them. All those plastic, catering lids. You don't want dolphins choking on those. Jesus. Who's that innocent guy? Just a little guy. Little catering guy. Why is he called Big Vito and not just Vito? Is he really that big? Just looks like a regular-sized Vito to me. Yo, appreciate that $2, William Cullen. Thanks for that. Oh! Poor Ralphus. Who was? I think it was the ECW stuff, right? Tommy Dreamer got. I think it might have been with the Lawler stuff, where that table's broken. Like he took a kendo stick to the nuts, and his balls just swelled up to the size of actual grapefruits. He's got a broken table in there. This is the story of WCW's life. This is pay-per-view, and you're getting Big Vito, who did absolutely nothing in his career, virtually, and Ralphus, who, aside from his intense sex appeal, doesn't offer anything else. So this is going to be a splash through the table onto Ralphus. Ugh! Frog splash to Ralphus for the win. What a match. What a match. What? Okay, I have to look this up. I got to know the buy rate. How many people paid $40 for this? Is there a buy rate here anywhere? I thought it would be in here. I don't see it, at least in the Wikipedia page. If anybody can dig up a buy rate on this pay-per-view, would love to know. It's probably, the number's probably not bad. Oh. I just saw the next match that's coming up. Interesting. Interesting. I love this, like, Godfather music they play. The Baldies. I do remember the Baldies. They were over, but none of that shit ever translated to WCW, you know? Because they brought a lot of guys in from, you know, Mikey Whipwreck and, you know, even Sandman, and nothing hit in WCW at all. Is Goldberg a heel yet? Has that happened yet?
The career of your longtime partner, Scott Hall, his fate is in your hands. Defeat Goldberg, and he stays in WCW. Lose, however, we may never see Scott Hall again.
You know, Gene, it's no secret I've been myself lately. I've been my wise self, I should say. The reason being this.
Look at Nash. His spirit is so broken. He's simply just being there so he'll continue to get paid. He has no desire to be there.
Last week when they aired the footage of Scott and I together, I just remember how much fun we had. And
thinking about what they were doing in WWE right now, the summer of 2000. I was at SummerSlam that year. And things were just so white hot.
And he knows I can do it again. And just for old time's sake, sir, Goldberg, when I jackhammer you in the middle of the ring, I just might take a little survey. Everybody knows Bill.
Oh, it's Nash and Goldberg. Okay. But we're probably just a couple of weeks away here from Fully Loaded, you know, where it was like Benoit and Angle and Jericho got those 3 big matches against the top guys. Like, the difference between WWE and WCW on pay-per-view right now during this time was just unbelievable. All right, so this is Daphne and Stacy. I love they're using this dramatic production music for this angle. Yeah, there's been more unlucky guys than Flair. These two women are fighting over Flair. I wish they'd fight over me. He's a 2-time in low life. Your little beanpole butt. A hot beanpole butt. Okay. Oh, yeah, Paul Shock, or what was her name? I liked her. I forgot about her. Pamela Paul Shock, right? You're cordially invited to the wedding gown match, or whatever that just said. All right, so this is Daphne versus Miss Hancock, who she was known as back then, in a wedding gown match or something. Whoever rips off the wedding gown wins? Okay, somewhere between 75,000 and 100,000 buys. Comparably, I'm wondering what WWE was doing. Can we look up the one the same month, Fully Loaded 2000? Were they doubling the buys of WCW or more? Because 100,000 buys ain't horrible. For as horrible as this product was at the time. Yeah, I think it's Elizabeth number 1 and Stacy number 2, my all time. They're unbeatable. Oh, he's got the hair clippers. Oh, is this a hair match too? Hi, Stacy. Oh, gross. It's a short wedding dress. My sister had a short one. She had like a long train for like the ceremony, but then for the reception, instead of like changing, she just like just rips it off, and then it's like a short like kind of skirt. I'm like, I bet you a lot of people do. Oh wow, he's getting in there. Get you some, David Flair. That sucks for Stacy that she had to make out with him. God, that had to suck. I'd be like, ugh, David, did you have a Caesar salad for lunch? Ugh. They are still going at it. What are you doing with your hands there, Dave? There you go. There you go. Looks like he's never kissed a woman ever. There you go. Oh, low blow. Okay, wow, okay, thanks, Garrett. 100,000 pay-per-view buys. So they made 400 grand off this? Or $4 million? Wait, what's $40 times 1,000? That'd be $4 million, right? If it's $40 a pop? Jesus. Or $4 million. Yeah, $4 million, not $40 million. $4 million. I mean, this match, I don't think goes very long. I didn't catch the, let me look up.
This is kind of the conclusion of the Flair Witch Project. Snap matter up. Flair Witch
4.5 minutes, I guess.
I don't think Daphne wants David Flair back. I think she's had it. She just wants to beat up the one that stole her from him. She's fighting you now with emotion. Hang on, they're very near the cake. Hang on.
If they get frosting on there. There we go. Okay, thank you, Real Pro Wrestling. Fully loaded, 420,000 buys. So over 4 times more they were doing in their buy rates. And Fully Loaded's not like SummerSlam. It's not like a big 4. That's just a normal. This is one of WCW's big ones. Fully Loaded is one of WWE's small ones. And they outdrew them 4 times. Oh, no. Yo, why are you wearing your underwear like that? And why are you wearing tighty whities? Hey, any of y'all guys in the chat wearing tighty whities? Stop. Don't do that. Men without pants. Okay, so we got David Flair and the referee in their tighty whities. Oh. Ooh, David, you better hope you better not get a real chub there. They're not even married yet. I don't. Oh, Daphne's got some like wrestling trunks on under there, or like a bodysuit or something. What's he doing to her? Who's there? Oh, there's Crowbar. I think Crowbar follows me, actually. I saw him work a couple light heavyweight matches in WWE as Devin Storm when I was going to a lot of shows. Back when he had like the blonde hair. Oh, so his... Okay, now... Just took a bump for no reason. David, I can see. The referee's got his referee shirt tucked into his tighty whities. Oh. Okay, thanks. Stacy's on the mic now because I don't know what's happening. Oh, Lord. Daphne just won because Stacy eliminated herself. Oh, the cake. Stacy's going to eat some cake. It was completely night and day between the two companies at this time. I cannot stress that enough. Like, this is garbage. Like, this is just trash. And this is what they were doing. And 100,000 people bought this on pay-per-view. Yeah, Edward, good point. The Patterson-Briscoe King of the Ring stuff was stupid. WWE was doing stupid stuff, too. They were just getting away with it. This was just, they had too much good stuff going on the show to where they could get away with doing some stupid shit. But when you put stupid shit on a show surrounded by a bunch of mediocre or below shit, it just really stands out as bad. Okay. Ox Baker. Oh. Yeah, Andy, we're going to do some SummerSlams the rest of this month. Next week, we'll probably be watching Evolution, unfortunately. But yeah, the week after that, we got to bust out. We're going to have time to do like 2 SummerSlams. So we got to figure it out. I've avoided 95 and 97 because they suck. But we might have to get to one of them.
It's supposed to be Jarrett and Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship tonight here at Bash at the Beach. We haven't seen Hogan. The rumors spreading like wildfire over the last week, Tony. He wasn't at Nitro. He wasn't at Thunder. We don't know if he's here in Daytona Beach, Florida. He lives in Tampa. We're not too far away from Tampa. He could walk here if he had a mind to, but we haven't seen Hulk Hogan. The cat involved in the name of...
You cannot walk to Daytona Beach from Tampa. That's way farther, I'm pretty sure. Tampa's on the Gulf side. Daytona's over there on the Atlantic side, right? I think. Florida? It'll take you a few hours to drive. Okay, 95 for the 30th anniversary. Oh, God, that one sucks. But yeah, we might have to knock out 95. I really did not like that show. I didn't like 97 either. But 95, I'd probably would say was better because of the Shawn and Razor match. Yeah, I might have to do 95. It's time. I just graduated high school. I was an adult. I wasn't even quite 18 yet. I started my senior year as a 16-year-old, which is just crazy to me when I think about it. And then I turned 17, then I graduated at 17, and then like 3 months later I turned 18. I don't know what's going on in the crowd there. Oh, it was in that very building. That's right. I didn't realize that. Look at them trying to mop up that nasty shit. Look at the mess they made. Look at that. That is gonna. They got little towels out there. What the fuck? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind watching these guys trying. Look at, he's got one little towel to clean up this gallons of shit. They're just now they're finally just getting the mats out of here. Yeah, like what are you gonna do there? They made such a mess out there with that stupid match. That's why Tony Schiavone's giving us a history lesson. I'm like, you need to get multiple buckets of mops out there with some water. And that's going to soak into those mats anyway. That's just a mess. That is a mess. Brian Zane's breakdown of the cake cleaning in his review of the show is gold. Oh, that's funny. I don't remember any of that. I didn't have no idea they had to spend fucking 45 minutes cleaning the damn thing. Shout out to Zane. We just talked about SummerSlam 97. I think that's the one. It's the one where they give away the $1 million and there's that bald-headed guy there that's one of the contestants. When Brian reviewed that show, he called him me. He's like, that is not good mic work. Look at these guys. The perfect event. Okay, well, I'm glad at least on Peacock we got to fast forward through that unless they're out there with no ring mats. Show the... I can't see the floor. I want to see if the ring mats are out there. Did they fast forward through the Peacock, or did they just remove the mats out of there? I remember hating this and being like really offended that WCW made a knockoff of Mr. Perfect's theme. Oh, it's Chronic versus... So all these guys would make it over to WWE after the buyout. Stasiak was already in WWE, as was Crush and Brian Clark. WCW found a thing here in Chronic. It's amazing how the shape that Bryan Adams got himself in, because when he was Crush in the DOA and Crush in the Nation, he kind of lost his muscle definition. He didn't really have, I mean, he's still a big guy, obviously, but, you know, he wasn't, like, ripped like he is now, and neither was Brian Clark. When he was Adam Bomb, he was a big guy and stuff, but he didn't have that, like, he wasn't ripped. So they probably were using a little chemical help, but that's fine. They're out there messing with Apter. And Stasiak got shit canned from WWE when he was there as Meat, because he was doing something weird, like recording conversations in the locker room, like, because back then there was no like camera phones and stuff where everything's recorded now, but he would like bring a tape recorder and like record conversations, and somehow the company found out and he got canned, but they would wind up bringing him back after the buyout. I feel like Chronic, you know, they were a lot like Goldberg, WCW. If they would have had some life left in them, you know, they could have ran with that. They could have made them like the modern day Legion of Doom or Road Warriors. Just have them be dominant. We never got a Chronic versus Hall and Nash match, did we? Because that would be kind of interesting. Brian Clark famously did not like Hall and Nash very much, and Brian Adams, I think, is BSK. So that would have been interesting. I think Scott Hall's pretty tough, but, you know, I don't know. The Bryans wouldn't have taken shit from either of those guys, I don't think. I don't think Kevin Nash can necessarily be considered like a great... Oh, they did clean the mats up. They're just dirty as all hell. Like, I don't think of Nash as like a really good fighter, you know, although I think he did punk out Roddy Piper one time. But Hall, I think, can handle himself. But Hall against Clark or Adams in a shoot, I don't know. When did WCW get themselves a little ginger referee? Little ginger snap. That dude can't even walk outside without putting 6 inches of sunscreen on his body. Oh, they flipped the mats. Okay. They still look dirty as all hell, but yeah, flipping the mats probably was the better idea. This little referee, I don't remember him. Can we name him? Was Hennig involved with Stasiak and Palumbo? Was that why they took his theme? Was there a storyline that kind of led to them becoming the perfect, whatever their name is, perfect whatever? Was like Hennig their manager or something? Oh, okay, Hennig lost to Stasiak at Slamboree. All right, so there was a storyline type of thing. I wasn't aware of him giving away. You're talking about Stasiak giving away the Mania 17 father-son match finish? What an idiot. I remember when he was meat, they did an angle, I think it was like on Sunday Night Heat, or maybe it was Raw, because he was hanging out with like the PMS, which I know was Terry and Jackie and somebody else, and they weren't giving Meat any sex, so he worked a match just with a fucking enormous raging boner. WCW should have turned Bryan Adams into like Shaka Bra Crush, you know, with the fluorescent colors and the blonde mullet. That would have been fun. God, that outside of the ring mat is so gross. I'd be pissed if I was a wrestler having to walk around in that slippery shit. And Palumbo just threw the chair. I don't know who that is. That might be Penzer. And if it's Penzer, it's fine, because, oh my God, is he a little grifting little dick. He's a lot. Penzer and Jimmy Corderas. Unbelievably stupid social media accounts. Like, the easiest thing in the world is the easiest shortcut you can make to getting views and clicks is to shit talk AEW and whatnot. And they are so bad at it. They are so bad at that grift that they can't get any traction on what they say. And I'm like, man, how bad do you have to suck? How unoriginal do you have to be to not be able to find success this way? But who knows? That might not be Penzer, but man, Penzer's a transparent little fuck. We watched Invasion, right? A couple years ago, and that was when it was Taker and Kane versus Chronic. And we got to see how bad that match really was. It was a match that got him fired. I remember watching it live that night and thinking the match was bad, but then when we watched it back a couple years ago, it didn't look as bad to me. I mean, it was bad, but maybe not as bad as I had in my memory. Hey, buddy. Okay, so Palumbo was brought in as the main event to feud with Luger. Luger refused to put him over at the Great American Bash, and Luger got sent home. Okay, so shit was a mess in WCW. Is he a Superman or what? Mike, Bryan Adams was Crush. He was Crush in Demolition. Then he left. Came back as Shaka Bra Crush. Then he left again. Went to jail. Came back as Clarence Mason, Nation of Domination Crush. Then he became part of DOA. Then, after the Survivor Series, he didn't like what happened to Brett, so he left. Here we go, meltdown. He left to go to WCW. I was actually in the building sitting ringside on the night that he had his final match in WWE, and I also saw him later that night at Waffle House. And he was gone. Off to WCW to join Bret Hart, where he was just Bryan Adams, and he debuted turning on Bret, joining the NWO, and it was just NWO Bryan Adams for the longest time, didn't do nothing. And then they stuck him with Wrath here, with Adam Bomb. Formed Chronic. They both got jacked as all hell. Came up with a cool name, Chronic spelled with a K. It's very edgy. They were over. There's your history lesson on Bryan Adams. Also, Bryan Adams had some amazing hits. I think my favorites would be One Night Love Affair and Summer of '69. Top two Bryan Adams songs. One Night Love Affair. Everything is just so slow. It's like watching it in slow motion. Like if I was at this show, I'd be getting drunk. I'd be buying $12 beer after $12 beer, as many as it took. Pancaked him. Diana's a solid choice, Tatanani. I like Diana too. I also like Straight from the Heart. That's a good one. Look at that. That's an F5. F5 from, I don't know what Crush's name is in Chronic. Who are they? What are their names in Chronic? Oh, guess Adams and Clark, right? Okay. I was thinking he had I thought he had a WCW name. No, Adams is, just hit Stasiak there with an F5. Didn't look good, but he hit it. All right, we're going to get the double chokey here. Palumbo's up, though. Double chokey. I hear a motorcycle. You hear the motorcycle, the motorbike, the bicycle? I heard motorcycles. Boom. Okay, I think the people in the back, I think they're supposed to ride away with the belts on the bikes or something, because I think in the back, they think the finish is coming and they keep turning on the bikes. Or that's their theme music kicking in, I don't know. What the fuck is this, a Powerbomb Doomsday device? Yes, it is. I like it. New champs. Not a bad finisher, actually. It was like a power bomb, like Doomsday device, you're usually the other way. But this way, you power bomb them up and then you come off the top. Unique. The referee looks like, the ginger referee looks like Jamie Tucker. Chris's brother. Palumbo's going nuts. All right, back to the Cat. I don't like Cat as commissioner. This does not do anything for me. It's like they're just copying WWE. Foley was a commissioner. Well, I don't think Regal was a commissioner yet. Foley might not have been either. Oh, yes, he was. Foley was commish by now, right? I don't know, though.
Where's Hogan at? I've got Screaming Nina here, but no sign of Hogan. You better produce him, because I'm getting real bored. If you don't, I'm going to start storming this show. What does he mean by that?
Look at that phone.
He's the world champ. He has the stroke.
Looks like an audio mixer. Mine's that big.
That heavy-set woman may have a stroke if he doesn't drop a couple.
An 8-ball. He's got an 8-ball.
Where is Hollywood Hulk Hogan? You hear that music? Well, every time we hear the music.
Oh, the music. Here they are. The ninjas.
Why are they doing this? They've got nunchucks. I'll tell you what happened, Mark. The Cat told them they did a good job on Thunder, so they're going to keep it up. Here at Bash.
Who's the other guy? Is Kaz Hayashi, right? There's Jamie Noble in the mask. And, what, Jimmy Wang, I guess. Oh, so who is that? Oh, it's Canyon. I didn't recognize him with the blonde hair. Positively Canyon. It's positively Canyon. Oh, yeah, he's trying to be like DDP. I get it. Oh, it's Booker. All right. So I don't remember like the full story. I know they just did a Dark Side of the Ring on this, but was Booker going into this match right now knowing he's winning the world title later, or was that all coming together last minute? Because if I remember my mindset correctly, when by the time this happened, because I was so dialed into everything, I love to read news and stuff, but I remember when this situation happened in WCW with Hogan and Jarrett and Booker, I was almost like I didn't care. I obviously knew something happened. I knew it was crazy. I knew Hogan was being Hogan and there was laying down and people refusing to do shit. It was just, to me, it was so typical of what we had heard about WCW. I had bigger fish to fry. I was enjoying WWE. Plus, we had already had major things go down that fried my brain, like the Montreal Screwjob and like Owen Hart's death. And to me, it was like I couldn't give that any time. I was like, I don't know what's going on over there, but it's fucking clusterfuck. It's exactly why I hate that company. And I don't think I ever really like knew the full story until several years later, until I finally cared enough to say, okay, what happened now? And I still am kind of like that. I don't really know everything. And if, listening to Bischoff or anything like that in any interviews or Dark Side of the Rings, I can't take his word for anything. He's a fucking lying sack of shit. So is Russo. Yeah, because I'm hoping that Booker knows, here, that like, oh, this is going to be a big night for me. Because I think what was supposed to happen, like Hogan was supposed to, like, take the title away, and then WCW was just going to crown Booker as their new champion, and then there'd be a two-belt situation. I don't remember. I have no idea. It's not worth thinking about. Bischoff and Russo don't like each other, Greg. I'm aware of that. There's not many people who like either one of them two either. Canyon disrobed and chucked over the top rope. Oh, there's a brick in it. You never know when you need a brick. It's a better read with the brick in it. They still got cake residue all over the mat. Did Booker T grow his hair for his WWE debut? No, he didn't grow it for the WWE debut. He was just growing it. By the time WCW closed down, he had already had the little braids, and then a couple months went by, they got a little longer, and then they just kept getting longer. He's still growing it. But I think he already had the idea to start doing the hair like that near the end of WCW when he had all the little, I don't know what it's called, when you start getting your long locks ready for growing. Little spark plugs. We never got flat top hair Booker in WWE. He was never there. I think I like long hair Booker. Jesus, he's got the steps on top of Bookie. It's a step up for Booker. Oh, Canyon's going to go. All that set up for that. That didn't even hurt him at all. That probably barely hurt. Candy cut. That's what he's calling it? Candy cutter? We don't get like a DDP return here, do we? Wait, don't tell me. Garrett Osborne, thank you for bringing that up. I am figuring that out right now. High noon watch along for AEW All in Texas. I am not sure what to do next week yet because I want to watch these shows. I also want to review these shows. I got to figure out if we're going to watch, like, do a watch along for the whole day, All in Texas, then into Saturday night's main event, then come back on Sunday night, maybe not watch Evolution, but I will watch Evolution at home, make notes on it, and then after Evolution on Sunday night, come up and do a big podcast reviewing all three shows. Or, well, no, I would not want to do both. That's what I'm thinking about, but I got to check with Elizabeth because that means I'm going to be in here streaming the entire day, and that might be in her way, so I'm not sure. So I am thinking about, hey, isn't it weird that Canyon kind of looks like the Great Khali? Is it just me? Anyway, something I just noticed. Like a little. Like a good Khali. He look like his chest and stuff. Like he's got the tan and the hair and the face and the facial hair, and it's like a little tiny ass Khali. But even yesterday in the podcast, I didn't have it figured out what I was going to do yet. That's why I didn't talk about it. I just mentioned tomorrow we'll be here for Raw, and I'm going to be here Thursday for a big prediction stream. We're going to predict all three shows on Thursday in a live stream. We'll do a 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on that. Maybe earlier. Jeez. Reverse Boston Crab. Damn. I'm going to go grab another cold one. Be right back. Sorry, went to the bathroom too. Oh, we got a chair in the ring. First a brick, now a chair. Billy Silverman stops Booker. Oh! And he smacked him with the book. Does he lose? Does he lose before winning the title? Oh, Booker kicked out. Okay, thank God. There's the brick right there. Did Canyon not know the brick? That's so stupid. Canyon would know when he picked it up that there's no brick in it. Like, just pick it up. Feel it. Remember that Coors Light ad campaign? Like, you'll know the beer's cold when the mountains turn blue. I'm like, yeah. Or you could touch it with your hand and also determine if it's cold or not. That method also works, I found. Oh. No, when he kicked out the book in, the rock bottom. The book bottom. Here comes Slapnuts with the chair. Oh! Okay, so the fact that Jarrett is out here smacking Booker with the chair, that makes me think that Booker knows going into this that he might be working Jarrett later. He just broke the guitar over his head. Booker still wins. Did they edit out this spinneroonie? And Canyon wins. Booker T loses. This is knockoff DDP music that he's using. And it's a win for the Great Khali. Oh, they just missed showing it. Okay. I was about to say, why would we be editing out spinneroonies? That just seems insane. That's a WCW camera fail, which that I do believe. Because look at this.
Mike.
Who's this again? Oh, that's Paul Shock, right? Yeah, she's awesome.
What about the U.S. title with
Oh, I forgot about that gimmick. Fucking Eddie Money over here. Kevin Nash called Mike Awesome Eddie Money one time in a promo, and I shat myself. Pamela, I forgot about you. I forgot about her. She's the best thing they had going. I mean, she was probably really the only reason to tune in. All right, so now it's Scott Steiner against somebody. He's defending his United States Championship, it looks like. It's Mike Awesome. Okay. My God, we still have so many stupid matches coming. This is an 11-match card. 11-match card. We're currently on match 6. I was never a fan of this gimmick. Did not care about Big Papa Pump. Look at him. He's getting kisses from women out on the outside of the ring. He's not even that hot to me. Like, you can have muscles and still be ugly as all fuck. You know, it's not a guaranteed path to women just to have big muscles. So Scott Steiner, he just has the one freak. Wasn't there like another girl that he had with him? She looks like Saraya, doesn't she? Oh yeah, Medeja. What was the other one's name? It was Medeja and Asia or something. There was an Asia in there, right? Their answer for China. Mike Awesome. He's a fucking beast. There's Steiner attacking him, but Mike Awesome kind of screwed over ECW. That kind of did him in. He took the money to go to, oh man, to go to WCW. I think he would have been great in WWE. Jeez. I definitely like Mike Awesome as an in-ring performer a hell of a lot more than Scott Steiner. I loved him back in the day. When he was awesome, Mike Awesome. That was awesome. Awesome, Mike Awesome was awesome. He was. Oh, it was Shakira? Whenever, wherever. That's awesome. I'm a fan of hers. Yeah. Yeah, hey, anybody who did that to Heyman, you know, I think had a legit reason to do so. You know, some people were not willing to put up with Heyman being sketchy on his payments. You're absolutely right. But I still think he could have maybe done it in a way that wouldn't have harmed his reputation. Because even if he was in the right, you know, he's perceived as being in the wrong. But I also think it was just like a dumb decision. Like I would have gone to WWE. I mean, he went to WWE in the buyout. He was one of the first people to show up there when the invasion started. But I just think like I wish he would have gotten a shot in WWE. He would have just been incredible. The WWE probably would have put a stupid gimmick on him too, just like WCW did. Ugh. And he's another one just gone too soon, man. Mike Awesome died. He could do like the crazy top rope shit he could do and stuff. All right, I'd like to see is like a No, that's not going to be it. Was impressive, though. Like a belly-to-belly from the top. Like Mike Awesome versus, like Obafemi. Would just be just ridiculous. Oh, hung up Steiner. Juliet, appreciate the 5. Thanks for saying something about that. Prayers out to those going through everything with those floodwaters in Texas, especially those girls unaccounted for at that campsite. I admittedly have not been following that story too closely. I know there's been some flooding, and I know there's been some serious deaths. But I have not even really seen too much footage or watched too many news reports about it. So I'm a little bit unaware of a lot of the details, but missing people and things like that, people getting swept away that quickly, that's nuts. I have a lot of sympathy for people in floods. When I lived in North Carolina, I was on the coast there. I had a lot of hurricanes, and I lived through one real big flood where the whole town was shut down, no power. I was stuck in my apartment for days upon days with, nowhere to go because the bottom floor was flooded. Parking lot was flooded, couldn't get in or out. Living off Gatorade and granola bars and listen to the battery-powered radio. Damn, David Penzer has got to get out of Dodge. He's been hit a couple times tonight. He's kind of a douche, so he deserves it. Smitty, well, Texas is a humongous state, so there's lots of parts of Texas, but yeah, they do get a fair amount of weather. It's very warm down there. They get tornadoes and all that stuff, so yeah, flooding is going to be always a threat pretty much no matter where you live in this country. I mean, even in my area, San Diego, we've had a couple flash floods here, torrential downpours that we're not used to. Don't have the drainage equipped for it, and next thing you know, you flooding. Here comes the cat to take a look here, I guess. He's already gotten beat up by the Jung Dragons. Now he's out here. Oof. Oh, it's Cat. I'm like, who's on the mic? Oh, never seen that before. You get put in like a double underhook and then you just... Oh, Alabama slam to Steiner. Oh, Steiner kicked out of that. What's that thing taped to the ring post? Is that for some smoke or fog or something? Look at this. Look at this guy. I love this move. Watch this frog splash here, or this splash. Oh, it looked so great when he would do it in ECW. Just the way the ring was, you know, it was very loud. It was very springy, so, you know, he would land on you and just bounce up. It was so badass. Oh yeah, Tito's out cold on the table there. You want to hear something sad? He's laying exactly where Bub died. That's where I put Bub down. I had a blanket down, but he laid on top there, and then the guy came up and we put him down right there on that table. Ooh. Damn. Miller had like little sandals on he took off. There goes Miller. Oh, Bailey is auctioning off ring gear with proceeds to help the families of those missing campsite girls. That is so scary.
Oh, no, you don't. Don't you do that. I tell you what, I'm going to strip you of your title if you put that on him. That's illegal move.
So he's not allowed to use the Steiner recliner, but he's going to do it anyway. That doesn't even look like it hurts. Look at that shitty. That's like Sting's Scorpion Deathlock. I'm like, what are you doing there? It's just a... Like, Mike Awesome's knees are on the mat. It's not even like a camel clutch where you're pulling him back. You're just holding his chin. Here, let me hold your chin for you. And then you pretend it hurts. Oh. T-boned him. It looks like he fell down. Like, there's a lot of those suplexes, the T-bones and even belly-to-belly, like overhead throws and fall-away slams, shit like that. I'm like, if they land on your head, which seems like it would happen quite often. That may be my biggest fear if I was a wrestler, as Saraya embraces Steiner. Yeah, I would not want to get my head squished. I like Scott Hudson's little hat there. Looking like Finn Balor. Put it on, Hudson. All three of you guys need a tan. You all look terrible. Last night, I had something straight out of the movie Goodfellas in the restaurant. This big, heavy-set Italian guy, big New York accent, come in. He's got like a white shirt on. He looks like a super rich, like Italian guy. White shirt on, buttons all unbuttoned, all the way down to the bottom. And he's got like this gold chain, a little bit of a hairy chest. You can see his man titties and everything, and we're not really an Italian restaurant, but he was like trying to find the most Italian-y stuff, and he had the accent. And I'm just like laughing. I'm like, this guy's right out of a movie. It's like somebody's Uncle Carmine is missing.
No, I'm going with you.
Fine. Charles, you watch out for her.
Okay.
Guys? Graveyard match, okay. Okay, so it's the Demon versus Vampiro in an actual graveyard. So this is like the Boneyard match? Did AJ and Undertaker steal that concept from this? I think they did. Are they really in the woods? Oh, look, a casket. The element of shock. Because caskets are usually just laying out in the open like that. He's not in there. Ah, it's not hot. The Demon, man. So this must be after the Kiss concert, right? When they did that horrible number. Because Torborg's now in as the Demon. There could be some gators in there. Don't be wandering into no swamp. Vampiro's in a tree. He jumped out of it and landed on something. Ouch. Okay, so they got camera, but they don't have light. They didn't bring a light. I have a light. You guys can't get a light?
This is being fought in a graveyard. Listen to these guys taunting each other. It seems like maybe Vampiro is doing most of the taunting. He is one of the masters of the mind games. Caught him that time with a kick in the chest.
It was one month ago at the Great American Bash when Vampiro.
I don't know. I don't believe in like supernatural stuff, but I don't think I could spend the night in a graveyard, like sleep. And sleep. I don't think I could do it. I don't believe in ghosts or any of that shit, but I think that would weird me out.
I think he said, don't make me do to you what I've done to Sting. Was that Asia? I think Asia.
There's Asia. I just talked about Asia. I didn't realize that was Asia.
Makes it back to the arena. Who survives the graveyard? Is that an open grave?
Vampiro is in the grave.
I was going to say the Demon has the advantage. He's on the upper ground, but Vampiro.
They are in a hole.
They are fighting.
They are in a hole.
In an open grave.
This is magnificent, brutal, and disgusting. All at the same time, they're fighting in a grave.
Look, wait a minute.
The Demon is in the grave, and Asia is wide open. Come on!
He's stalking Asia. He's stalking the fiance of the Demon, Dale Torborg.
What's he gonna do to Asia now?
I don't know. What's he doing?
I tried to help you. You wouldn't listen.
Tried to help.
Where are you going?
What the hell for what?
Don't throw her in a swamp.
Robinson. How about this? The Demon.
The Demon is deep in a hole. So this is a graveyard and buried alive match. And a casket match. There's a casket out there. Well, go find him, dude. Where is he? He went that away. God damn, this is just abysmal.
Wait for me.
Wait for me, Charles.
Charles Robinson, discretion being the better part of valor there, giving chase.
Now this isn't over.
I love how they both ran through the little arch instead of around it.
Right now, it's essentially a foot race is what it is.
Where did they find this? This actually does look like a really cool looking little wooded area here.
Where is this
Looks very cinematic. Oh, geez, Asia's in the water. Get out of that water. Do we want to be doing that in Florida? Yeah. I feel like there could be gators, man.
The dark side of two athletes has risen right before our very eyes in the graveyard. The Demon and Vampiro. Hey, one guy on fire a couple weeks ago, a month ago, actually, maybe he got to the It's amazing.
So I'm curious about this. I feel like because of how nice the lighting is and everything, and the fact that it's fucking dark, well, no, it would already be dark. I was about to say, this has got to be taped. If this is WWE, they would have taped this 4 days earlier. So I'm curious if this segment was recorded at a time, because look at this fog they got going on. Like, you wouldn't have that type of fog in the summer time at 9:30 at night. It would currently be 9:35 in the evening right now in Daytona Beach, the night that this aired. Unless it started at 7, it could be even earlier than that. But it probably started at 8 o'clock, most likely, back in those days. So they had to have taped this like early morning sometime or super late at night, because there's no way this is local time. I'm curious what the story is. Because that would explain it. They wouldn't necessarily have to tape. They wouldn't have to be in Florida for this if they didn't want. You know, they could essentially record this anywhere where there aren't gators. Oh, no, look. Okay, I see sunlight in the background. It might just, that might not be fog. That might be the way the sunlight is coming in through the trees. I don't fucking know. But no, that looks pretty dark over there. Oh. Like, you can't.
You ready to live or die?
WCW should have piped in the crowd noise
Join me.
from the arena. It feels too pandemic era.
In what? To be like that sicko?
You couldn't beat me. You should have joined me.
Oh, is that one of those? Oh, he hit him in the face with a tombstone that disintegrated.
Did his head shatter or did the tombstone shatter? Or maybe both? The Demon is unconscious. Dale Torborg is unconscious.
Okay, so you got to put him in the casket now. Okay, there you go. Slide him in there. He's in.
What is this symbolic of?
It's over. Thank God. Charles Robinson says, "Thanks God. Thank God." No way. Okay, so they just did a smash. They just did a cut here. Oh, he might have been in there. I just figured they could cut that and make it look like he was still in there, but the way that casket rolled, it did look like there was a body in there. What a match. I didn't even expect to see that. Graveyard match, Vampiro, and Dale Torborg. We put him in the casket and then flip the casket over into the 6-foot hole. Here's another ECWer that just didn't hit the same in WCW.
During your WCW Tag Team title reign. Tonight we're going to find out what the case is, and I doubt that you had the upper hand.
Well, you know, Gene, in this life, in this sport, there are a few guarantees. There are a few things that you can chuck down and say, you know, at the end of the night, things will be exactly as you guarantee them to be or expect them to be. You've known me for a long time, Gene. I've made few guarantees in this sport, but I will make this guarantee. Buff Bagwell, you are a great wrestler, but you're not greater than a franchise. Buff Bagwell, tonight you and I will enter that ring, and we will fight like two gladiators. But fans, you can mark it down on your calendars. You can mark it down as a guarantee from the franchise. Tonight,
The franchise.
I hate you, Buff Bagwell. Why? Because of a franchise. Why? Because I'm just that damn good. Guaranteed? Guaranteed.
All right, Dean Douglas, whatever. Oh, I remember these. That's right. You would send in, I never did one of these, but I feel like WWE did a few too, where you'd send in your cable or satellite bill, and then you'd get something, or be entered into something. To be Goldberg's guest manager, what, probably at a live event in front of 1,100 people. Here comes the buff stuff or whatever. Yeah, I always feel like Shane Douglas was ECW's Triple H, you know, and then he came to WCW, didn't really hit the same, but I feel like him and Triple H were sort of similar. I hate that hairstyle Buff Bagwell has. So many like country white boys were rocking that like at this time in this time period. Oh yeah, that's right. Shane Douglas kind of had he kind of had a knockoff of his ECW theme. Does Bagwell and Douglas have a history prior to this? Like, I feel like they might have been briefly overlapping in WCW in the early 90s there, when Marcus Alexander Bagwell came in and maybe Shane Douglas was still there. They didn't have a tag team or anything that I'm misremembering. Oh, thank you. Perfect Strangers, Deep Purple. I was trying to think of that. Because I was like, I know Dreamer was Alice in Chains, right? And, of course, Sandman was Metallica. And so Shane kind of, you know, they tried to make a knockoff version for him in the same spirit as the DDP and Jericho and Nirvana and Pearl Jam knockoffs. So help me out again, too, with my my WCW history. So Hogan later on, when he comes out against Jarrett, he's in his Hollywood Hogan gear. But it's not NWO. He's just Hollywood Hogan, right? But wasn't he red and yellow in 99? Didn't he go back to the red and yellow in 99? So what made him go back to Hollywood? Oh, look at that gross mat with the cake bullshit all over it. They made a fucking mess in that match. Ugh! That was a rough backdrop. At least he landed on the padded part. Justin, excuse me. No, they weren't. American Males was Scotty Riggs and Bagwell. But I don't know. I thought maybe Douglas, when he was there, as maybe like he was a dynamic dude or whatnot. Right when Alexander Bagwell was coming in, teaming with Scorpio, remember? Like, so I thought maybe around like 93-ish they were there together, but then by 94, Douglas is cutting that promo with the NWA title and ECW and all that. So it would have been very brief, but I thought maybe I was forgetting a part of their history, but I don't think I am. Shane had a little run in WWE too in like 1990 and I think 1991. He performed well in a Rumble, and I remember watching him they would feature him on Primetime Wrestling sometimes, and he would always be like a really strong opponent for, you know, any top star he was working for. One week they just had him, he was just like in a 30-minute draw with like Paul Roma for some reason. I'm like, look at him go. Oof, punches the chair. Yeah, it was the 99 or the 91 Rumble that Shane performed well in, I believe. Angry pretty boy redneck. They exist. Dean Douglas was Barry Horowitz on crack. You know, Zane, the idea of... oh, dear. Tori. The idea of Dean Douglas on crack... Or, I'm sorry, Barry Horowitz on crack is really awesome sounding to me. And I wish there was a way we could experience that together. The one Rumble that he was in... Oh. He said, I'm confident and I'm happy. Like, okay. Glad he's happy. Rumble 96. Got to be 96. I'm confident. You know how at like the beginning of the Rumbles back in the 90s, they would like run through the superstars, you know, saying a couple words in a pre-tape. When it came to Barry Horowitz's turn, he said, I'm confident and I'm happy. You know, I think arguably believe that Tori Wilson and Stacy, for that matter, just got more beautiful as time went on. Like, obviously, Tori is ridiculously hot here, but I feel like she only got better. I think 5 years after this, she was even hotter. Okay, so we got Tori in the ring now. Wasn't Tori with David Flair? Ew. Was it with Tori with David Flair too? Buff got a nice... Oh, she's going to nut dick kick him. So she just came... Everybody gets to kiss these girls. Flair got to make out with Stacy. Now Buff with Tori. Now she dick kicks him. Pittsburgh plunge, which was just a suplex. Buff kicks out. Look how surprised Shane looks. How dare he kick out of a suplex? How dare he kick out of a very basic, standard, normal suplex that you see in every match? How dare he? And Shane kicks out. Almost the 30-year anniversary of him beating Skip on TV. I watched that when it happened. I remember. I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, WWE's getting weird. We're putting Horowitz over. What was that? Was that like a reverse stunner? Oh, so this is when Tori and Shane's deal gets together? Didn't they do... Okay. I'm remembering a segment in WCW where, like, Shane can't get it up or something with her. Which you might as well just pack up your bags and call it a day at that point if you're unable to perform with her. But I don't remember. It's just one of those stupid... Maybe that's where the Viagra... Wasn't there a Viagra on a pole match or something? Maybe that's where it came from? I don't know. Jesus Christ. WCW was... They were so awful. All right, there's Hogan. He's finally here. He's coming to the ring. All right, so what's going to happen here? Jurassic Slap Ass. Why didn't I think of that name for my YouTube channel? Jurassic Slap Ass.
Wait a minute, Jeff Jarrett, what do you mean by that? You ever seen the movie Usual Suspects, Gene? Wait and see. Now choke on that, Slappy.
Choke on that, Slappy.
Quite a history between Jeff Jarrett and Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Take a look for yourself.
The immortal Hulk Hogan was stretchered out of the ring. The last
Oh, yeah, so Goldberg is a heel here, huh?
truly the chosen one, never to be seen or heard from again. I've been interviewing the biggest, the baddest, the most disgusting women to accompany me to ringside and Fashion Week. The fat lady's gonna sing when the chosen one gets the 1, 2, 3.
Jesus. All right, so we're getting Michael Buffer to announce this debacle? Jesus.
To the year 2000 WCW Bash at the Beach. And the main event of the evening. For the past few weeks, two of the biggest stars in the universe have been on a collision course.
Two of the biggest stars in the universe.
They shall collide. In this ring,
Michael Buffer, are you aware of how
WCW
big the universe is?
Championship of the World.
Look at her. She's liking it. You know, Voyager 1, it was launched the day before I was born in 1977. It's about to become one light day away. It's the furthest thing we have out in the universe. It's past our solar system now. It's way out there in interstellar space. And with all the time it's traveled over the last, 48 years, it's only made it to be one light day away. So imagine how long it would take to travel a light year. Or 4 light years, which is our closest star. This is terrible. They dubbed over. It was already like Jeff Jarrett had like a knockoff of the Kid Rock song, right? And so now this is a knockoff of that knockoff. It's like making a copy of a copy. Look at them. There's a lot of talent in that crowd in Florida. Look at that guy. This is really bad. Really one of the worst network edits. So he's not out there yet. He's taking his time. I gotta say, this is one of the best looking pro wrestling crowds I've ever seen. I mean, it's the summertime in Florida, so you're gonna have some ladies in there, but like wrestling crowd is just generally overall, no matter what area you're in, is just a pretty grim looking bunch. A lot of black t-shirts, a lot of black t-shirts covered in dandruff. Okay, here comes Vince Russo. I thought Russo came out after. He's out here first? Oh, here comes Jeff. Finally, the WCW World Heavyweight Champion makes his way to the ring. So we had to listen to this horrible network edit like on a long loop. See what I'm talking about the network edits? You can't even hear Michael Buffer right now. Can you? And so that's one thing to look for when you're trying to decide if it's an edit or not. Just try to, if the commentary team, you can't hear them, if you can't hear the ring announcer, that's... Because I mean, you can't really separate tracks. You know, so to edit something like that, it's got to be kind of hard to do. And it's probably very time consuming for the people in charge of whoever has to do these. I wouldn't want that job. It's probably either George or Adam, one of those guys. Probably has to do it. Who's on network edit duty? That's the second Usual Suspects reference, and the movie was a few years old by this point. I think Usual Suspects was around 96, maybe 98, but I'm pretty sure it was 96. It's 2000. Look at that. The crowd is cracking me up. There he is, doing his air guitar. Was he coming out? Now, we can hear the commentators pretty well here. So I feel like he's actually coming out to the NWO theme here. I don't think this is Jimmy. Crowd's cheering him, and he's coming out to the NWO music, but there is no NWO anymore, even though there's an NWO logo on his shirt. I'm confused. I don't even know if... I think Tony Schiavone is talking over Buffer, and now you can't hear Buffer. Yeah, I feel like he actually came out to this song this night. This does not feel like an edit to me. But you still can't hear shit that Buffer's saying. Okay, so Hogan's got the mic now. And so Jarrett's just standing there. On a side note, my ankle is bleeding. I'm going to have to take a break in a minute to deal with this. Maybe. All right, this is my first time kind of like watching this in quite a while, like from start to finish. I kind of didn't even know that Russo was out there first. And Russo made it. Russo's got the belt. I forgot what they said in Dark Side of the Ring, what the plan was for Hogan to, like, take the belt with him, and then, I don't remember. And look. Look at after. What does this mean? Okay, Hogan's like, what the fuck? The funny thing is, like, even though Hogan is, like, disgusted by this, he's like, well, I'm still going to win the belt. I'm still going to pin him. Like, if Russo did all of that, like, why didn't Hogan just say, like, I'm not even going to bother pinning him? Like, what's the point? But... deviating from the script. Oh, I hate to say that. Oh, no. At least you put a boot on him. And then Jarrett just leaves. Yeah, because like Hogan takes this belt, which is that newer WCW belt, that shinier one. But later on when Booker beats Jarrett, it's the old one with the loose plate. That plate was loose on there for so long. For a couple of years, I swear. Like, nobody back there could just reattach that plate. It used to drive me nuts. So I'm pretty sure, like, when I've seen Booker win the title, you see that loose plate on it. It's because they dig up the old original WCW title, I think, right? To give to him? And Hogan's got this shiny bullshit? Ooh, now they're talking about production meetings. We've all been swerved. Now, I'm pretty sure, like, Russo comes back out, right? Maybe right away here. But the fans in the crowd got to have been like, this is crazy. Oh, Vampiro's back. He's back from the graveyard. Oh, look, and there's Hogan walking right by him. That's crazy. That wasn't like little Nick, was it? Hogan's son? Was that little Nick? I want to rewind that so bad. That was crazy. We're back on the air. You are not looking good, Mark Madden. You're looking the opposite of good. Look up good in the dictionary. Read the opposite words. That's what you are. That was it. That's right. Right? We don't see him again. I kind of forgot about that too. That's really awesome that the very place where the NWO formed is the last time you would ever see Hogan in a WCW environment ever. Yeah, I kind of forgot he didn't come back, did he? Because they already done the New Blood stuff, so he's already all that shit's already been done with him, right? Or would because he wouldn't come back, right? Yeah. Like what I was trying to think of when he did the shit with Kidman. I don't know why I was thinking that was later, but no, yeah, I guess he would not be back because WCW would close up shop in 9 months, 10 months, whatever it is. The Demon is not dead, but the Demon probably is injured the way you tipped him over in that hole with that coffin. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Little Nick and one of Little Nick's little dumbass little friends. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Because the other kid, it wasn't him, was it? Weren't they childhood friends? The kid that Nick injured? Was that him? It might have been him. So I shouldn't say that, just in case it was him. I watched that. I remember when Sting made that fall, when Vampiro threw him off. Here we go. Is this going to be the return of Sting? So this is basically just like an Undertaker gimmick here, and this is what Undertaker would do in 1996 after he would be either buried alive or turned on by Paul Bearer or set on fire or whatever the fuck. He would always resurrect. I always thought Vampiro was another guy that would have seen some success in WWE. He would have moved merch in WWE, I think, in this time period, like 99, 2000, I think could have done a way better job of marketing him. And, you know, probably would have had some involvement in the ministry and whatnot. They probably just would have feuded him with Taker and had him lose, but still, I feel like he could have perhaps found some success in WWE. Oh, there's Sting. We thought he was getting treatment for his burns. So right after the Hogan Jarrett debacle, are we actually not dubbing Metallica? Oh, they didn't play it for very long. Or was that Metallica theme that Sting used? That wasn't a knockoff. I think that was the actual theme, right? Or the actual song? Sounds like the Undertaker's theme now from like the 90s. Sting strikes and disappears. Okay. Yeah, it was the actual. So it's weird how like they didn't use Nirvana and Pearl Jam, but they used Metallica. I can't figure out theme music. I don't know why it always confuses me so much when we do these watch-alongs. Look at Goldberg. Does Scott Hall return here or something? Is that why he's factored into this with his contract? Well, it's a Goldberg match. At least it won't be long.
You know what? It's taken all the professional courtesy I got not to rip this damn contract up. Because the person you see in front of you is more intense and more pissed off than I've ever been in my entire life. But, fact is, I want to make Kevin Nash suffer. I'm going to beat his ass from ring post to ring post, then rip it up right in front of his face. Then, the outsiders, as they know it and as everyone else knows it, are history. Tonight, I personally end Scott Hall's career. There ain't a damn thing Scott Hall can do about it. And as a matter of fact, there ain't a damn thing Kevin Nash can do about it either.
With that thing around his neck, he looked like Braun Breaker, kind of. Like it was as if it was straps. Okay, here comes Rusi. He's going to be mad. He's very mad.
Maybe Russo can explain to the world
I've got 5 minutes, 27 seconds on Goldberg and Nash coming up, so it's definitely less than 10 minutes.
I think we're going to hear the truth right now. I really do. We're going to hear something. That's not Vince Russo, the character. That's Vince Russo.
Okay, thank you for that. We Are Pro Wrestling. So Scott Hall was done. This was to write him off officially off of TV. He's been gone since Super Brawl. All right.
How do you explain what happened with Hogan?
So it was about 2 years. So we went 2 years with no Scott Hall. Super Brawl's in February, and then he came back in No Way Out 2002 in February to WWE. Yeah, let's hear what Russo has to say here.
You know, 3 weeks ago, I left WCW.
Was this before or after? When did him and Bischoff have the handshake? And that was before all this, right? And maybe Bischoff's gone. I can't remember the history of those two.
I left WCW, and quite frankly, I didn't know if I was going to come back.
Oh, I guess Bischoff is still there because he's involved in all this stuff behind the scenes.
And the reason I didn't know I was going to come back or not is because from day one that I've been in WCW, I've done nothing but deal with the bullshit of the politics behind that.
How did he not think that was going to be a problem? Like, think about the shock that must have been for Russo, who's working in that WWE system and then coming over here
I've got 3 kids.
to that nonsense.
We don't need this shit. But let me tell you the reason why I did come back.
I can't believe they even survived almost nearly another year after this. It's just crazy.
That week in, week out, bust their ass for WCW.
How did Nitro do on Monday night? I'm curious because, like, was this done to try to also grab some ratings? Holy shit, a shoot fucking work happened on Hogan walked out and
I came back for the animals. I came back for Jarrett. I came back to the guys behind that curtain that give a shit about this company. And let me tell you who doesn't give a shit about this company. That goddamn politician Hulk Hogan. Because let me tell you people what happened out here in this ring tonight.
tell us, Russo.
All day long, I'm playing politics with Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan tonight wants to play his creative control card.
Creative control card. There it is.
To Hulk Hogan, that meant that tonight in the middle of this ring, when he knew it was bullshit, he beats Jeff Jarrett. Well, guess what? Hogan got his wish. Hogan got his belt and he went the hell home. And I promise everybody or else I'll go in the goddamn grave. You will never see that piece of shit again.
Well, Russo was right about that. We would not see that piece of shit again, at least in WCW, but he would still win a championship. He'd have one more belt to get in 2002.
I sat out there with the people just like you. And I know you paid
When people talk about Hogan's title runs, does that one count? I'm guessing it counts, right? The one he just won? And then he wins one more in 2 years, and then I think he's finally done, right? No more belts for you, Hogan. Or no, he wins the tag. I forgot. 2 more belts.
And Hulk, let's refer to that as the Hulk Hogan Memorial Belt because from here on in, that belt don't mean shit.
It's the Hulk Hogan Memorial Belt. All right, so Hogan can take that one. Now they bring back the original because I know when Booker T celebrates with it, it's all broken.
There will be a new WCW belt. And as far as I'm concerned, that belt still belongs to the one guy that busts his ass week in and week out in the middle of this ring. And you people can love him and hate him, but he doesn't
Yeah, Jarrett. I mean, Jarrett followed Russo there. He was gone right when after Russo left. Because he knew he'd be promised a world title over there that he'd never get in WWE. So Jeff's rise to the top wasn't because of popularity. It was because he had a very powerful backstage friend. Thank you. Okay, so it does not count in the record book. So Hogan, that's not a title run for Hogan. Okay. Hulk Hogan, you big bald son of a bitch, kiss my ass. I really cannot stand Vince Russo. I think he's just a wormy sack of fucking shit, but I did enjoy him running down Hulk Hogan. That's pretty fun and satisfying to listen to, even if it's coming out of the mouth of an idiot.
If Russo was a woman, I'd marry him.
Madden loves it. If Russo was a man, I'd marry him.
We all know, we all worked for many months, who has busted his rear end for this company, poured his heart out for you in a shoot, as we call it in the wrestling business.
That was not on the format. That was not in the production meeting.
That was not in the production meeting.
We do have Booker T now against Jeff.
I like how one side has a glass panel and the other side is missing it.
We've still got Goldberg and Nash.
WCW, you need to order yourselves one of them new glass panels off Amazon.
How long we been doing this?
About 1,000 years.
Yeah, it feels like it. My God.
Started 2.5 hours ago. Wow.
So you got one more match, right? Get these boys out there. Oh no, we got 2 more matches. I forgot about Goldberg and Nash. I forgot. They are dumbfounded. Tony was noticeable. Just the way he's sitting there being like, what the fuck am I doing with my fucking life? It's a wonder that he stayed away from the business for so many years after the way he had to finish up in WCW. Same thing with Mean Gene, you know. Mean Gene came back to WWE anyway, but, you know, the fact that Gene had to be a part of that was kind of funny to me. That he stayed there for 8 years. Mean Gene spent almost as much time in WCW as he did in WWE. Just by about maybe like a year more in WWE he spent. That was it. I think Gene was there about 10 years. 9.5 to 10 years in WWE. And he put in like 8 years.
To save Scott's WCW career, you must face Goldberg July 9 at Bash at the Beach.
Scott Hall's career on the line. I got no problem beating him.
Yeah, what did we are pro wrestling. You mentioned something about the Hall a minute ago. Let me find that comment. Yeah, the reason behind Hall not coming back to WCW was he had a thing with Brad Siegel's niece that went south, and Brad refused to bring Scott back. I don't know if I remember that. If I read that story or heard about it at the time, it must not have stuck because that's crazy. Scott Hall being in a relationship with a woman that goes south, that's kind of goes without saying. And here comes Nash. A little fresh bottle of Aquafina. Watch my bit. I'm busy. What is he doing?
Scott's contract, man. Come on, get the game right.
What is Scott Steiner doing in the corner over there? Do I want to know? Is he playing with a shake weight? And Nash was like, hey, watch my back. And Steiner's like, I'm busy playing with my shake weight. Yeah, Nash does not look like, body language wise, like, I know it's part of the storyline. He's got to go in there against Goldberg, but my God, he just looks like such a shell. And help me out, We Are Pro Wrestling or anybody else. When is the end of Kevin Nash? Because he's not there. at that final night, right? I don't remember him being a part of that final Nitro. I feel like he was gone by then. Maybe he was injured with a torn quad. Oh, hello. It's possible he could have been there with a torn quad. I like the one in the white dress. But he was healthy when he came back with the NWO in 2002.
Is that Goldberg takes every second of every moment of every day he spends in this business totally seriously. That is the basic cause of the contention between he and the outsiders. And even though it seems like a small thing to fight over, Tony, it's escalated.
Nash diesel powered. They showed that sign.
Alliances have been destroyed. New alliances have been formed. Where does Thug Life, the hired gun, Goldberg, fit into this equation? We don't know. We may not know the name.
Goldberg's got the contract in his gear. Signs of Scott alcohol.
Okay, we'll watch that for you.
We'll watch it. Let's watch the contract.
Don't mess it up. Don't mess that contract up. Some of these caveats in here. This is Godzilla versus Megalon. The Titanic versus the Iceberg. This is an incredible matchup. There's Kevin Nash over here now to look at the contract. Kevin Nash has got it. I think it's legal. There's enough signatures on it. Better believe it. So I'm going to tell you, never has one document.
So, like, what's the stip? Like, if Nash loses that's an actual Scott Hall contract, and so if Nash loses, the contract is voided. Is that what the deal is?
In the building where the outsiders reached their pinnacle. The Ocean Center in Daytona, where they brought in Hulk Hogan as the mystery partner, the third man. How many weeks should we go on and on and on about who was the third man? We never thought Hulk Hogan would shock the world and took over the sport in this building. And right now, Kevin Nash, it's all falling apart for the NWO. Kevin Nash is fighting.
I heard Madden say Godzilla versus Megalodon. What an idiot. Or he said Megalon. Is that what he said? he didn't say it right. Hogan is a slap nut. Check out the fade in the upper left corner. It's gone now. In the upper left corner of that camera. How brutal was the pay-per-view? It's been brutal, but I'm glad we're watching it finally. It's been entertaining, at least. Nash missing. Is this finally payback for Starrcade 98? It's crazy that this guy is going to have a match. His final match is in 6 days. That's crazy. Oh, here comes Steiner finally. He must turn on Nash or something. Because Goldberg and Steiner had a feud too. Oof. Oh, Nash went down. He hit the sidewalk slam, but it looked like his legs buckled. Goldberg misses. I feel like the way Scott Steiner came out there with his energy that he's going to turn. Oh, there he is. There's the turn. Is this not a regular match? Is there disqualifications allowed here or what? Oh. Is he going to get him up? Of course he's going to get him up. Hopefully Nash can get himself up. Ooh, that did not look good. Nash is done. Scott Hall is done. Okay, Goldberg beat Nash at Spring Stampede 99. Got it. Cool. Glad it didn't take as long as this. And he tears up the contract, and that's it. So the end of Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan on the same night. Technically, I guess Scott Hall's was earlier, back in February, but in terms of being officially done. Pounding fists. Steiner and Goldberg. Oh, Nash lost his two best friends. Let's not watch New Blood Rising. Fine. No problem, Ray. Got you covered on that one.
As I understand it from Vince Russo, Booker, now you're going to be facing Jeff Jarrett, and yes,
is that a Sublime logo tattoo that Booker has on the side of his shoulder there?
I really don't know what's going on. Vince made the decision. I'm going to do what I got to do. Opportunity has knocked, and I will be damned if I don't answer that door. I am going to do what I have to do tonight to take that gold home, take it around my waist, and take it into the next one. Can you dig that, G?
I can. Totally back to you.
All right, Booker.
All right, we are back, and Nash is just getting to his feet. And fans, look, we said we didn't expect this. Obviously, we didn't expect Booker T and Jeff Jarrett for the WCW title. Well, the show is supposed to be over.
Yeah, this is running long.
It's the end of the show. We're done. Good night. We're gone. But no way. We've got Jeff Jarrett defending the title that I thought he lost earlier tonight.
Let's not mince words. The winner of this, like Mr. Russo said, is indeed the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. These are the two kind of men that Hogan kept down, and now they get their chance.
Yeah, that is weird. Like, why wouldn't they book the Hogan and Jarrett match in the main event?
I can't disagree with that.
And then just have Booker come out right after that and do the match? Why did they do Goldberg and Nash in between that? That was weird. Nash and Goldberg should have came first.
Tonight, we have been witness to one of the most amazing nights in the history of professional wrestling, sports, and entertainment.
There you go, Ryan. Somebody chuck a fucking cool G in there, and we'll do it.
In the same evening, you will see a match for the heavyweight championship of the world. So for the second time tonight, let's get ready to rumble.
Okay, I've been told, and I do need to say this, I've been handed this sheet that we do have the winner of our Play with Power Mastercard sweepstakes. Norman Counter on the San Diego is here. With her husband and two sons as guests of WCW. Drive the card.
All right, Booker, big night for you, man. Who lost earlier to Canyon. I actually I don't like any Kid Rock songs, but the Jeff Jarrett WCW knockoff of the Kid Rock song, I didn't really hate. And then this, of course, is a knockoff of that knockoff, but I didn't really hate it. Yeah, I don't know anything about New Blood Rising. Never watched it, never gave a shit. I don't know, but we'll see.
Who go in there and just wrestle their tails off for as long as they have to entertain the fans. These two men are with WCW should have been all about a long time ago.
Anyone who purchased this badge at the beach did not expect these two to go out. Hell, we did. And we lived this stuff.
Exactly. You never know what to expect.
At a WCW
I forgot to kind of get a better look at that belt, but I'm pretty sure that's the original one now. Damn it, of course it's faced the wrong way. Can't see it. Yeah, that's the original. That's the original WCW belt that was spray painted. The NWO one. That's the one. The one Hogan walked off with was a different one.
You know they can do it. The chosen one. And Jeff Jarrett fan out there with that green sign.
See, look at the broken plate right there. That drives me crazy. They never fixed it.
You can see the top of it in fan. I've seen that. That's the real belt.
Yeah. Shivani's talking about it. That's the real belt. Yeah, it is bent too, isn't it? I forgot the top is bent.
I want to tell you, I've had more fun tonight than I've had in 100
Yeah, why aren't there more pay-per-views in Vancouver? I guess we got one at Survivor Series 2024. But up until then, it was New Blood Rising was the last one. Jesus Christ. Doesn't seem fair to Vancouver. I've always heard great things about Vancouver. If I had to move to Canada, I'd probably move there.
Everybody tries to do it scientifically for a lot. Then emotions get the better of you, especially with the world title on the line. I understand. Especially in these circumstances, for heaven's sakes. It's been an emotional night all night long.
And when we talk about going scientifically, Jarrett can't hang with Booker T. When you talk pure athleticism,
We need to knock off all the WCW pay-per-views for the 25th anniversary. We've probably done all the WWE ones for the year 2000. We've definitely done SummerSlam and Fully Loaded. And we did King of the Ring. We did Judgment Day, right? I'm pretty sure we've done Unforgiven 2000. We might not have. I'm not sure about Unforgiven 2000. We might have done that one. But yeah, I guess if we're going to do any 25th anniversary shows, it's going to have to be WCW or ECW. Pretty sure we did Survivor Series 2000 as well.
Well, you talk about how Booker's already wrestled once, but he's kind of hot. He's kind of ready to roll more than Jeff. The advantage goes to Booker early.
right, he's warmed up, is what he is.
Right, good call.
Even though the one against Booker was more than a warm-up. Shoulder block, you take him down. Bring that energy. See amazing.
Oh.
Booker T looks sharp as attacking. Jeff Jarrett, who hasn't wrestled a lick, is walking around the ring, shaking loose the cobwebs.
Jeff Block passed just a moment ago. Must be from an aviary. They all just gave him the bird.
You know, when I go back to the 10th of April and I remember the interview that Russo and Bischoff cut in the ring when they formed the New Blood, somehow I think this moment, this match, is what they were thinking of the level playing field, the even playing field for the young man who give their heart and their soul to this sport.
And Booker was he two-time WCW champion before they were bought out, right?
Stevie is just, not even broken stride here since the last match. There's the big double axe off the apron. Booker, for heaven's sakes.
We know what you mean.
This night has me totally flustered.
And I'm sure back out of the cheap seats. And I'm sure here comes the security with them. And Nick, that's Billy Silverman, referee, telling him to get back in the ring. Billy, I can tell you this, based on what's happened tonight, based on the level playing field, based on what's gone down in WCW the past 3 months, you better let this thing go. And let's get us a winner here.
Hey, WCW right now is giving the fans everything they bargained for when they ordered Bash at the Beach, and frankly, a little bit more.
Booker T
They are in the crowd.
through the crowd here in Daytona Beach, Florida, all the way, back up to the wall, to the doors, go to the concession area. It's for the World Heavyweight Championship. And it was a match no one ever thought would come down.
Now, this is the Jeff's advantage because Booker T's out in a place where there can't be a pin, where you can't win the title. He's expending a lot of energy, and Jeff's going to come back to the ring fresher than Booker when they finally do get back there. They're not going to count him out. I don't care what's happened. There's going to be right in the wall.
Boy, I tell you,
There's going to be a decision.
not only did he go right in the wall, he propelled him up against the wall. High in the air with a big, if you will, Irish whip. And now to the, it looks like it's a safety rail or a chair rail. Along the bleachers there, you can see it. They've circled around behind us here.
I like how they're literally being followed. Oh, there's an APA shirt.
Every seat taken here tonight. This is WCW, and it's, I'm going to tell you, think what you will, at its finest here tonight.
This is WCW at its finest. Those words, that sentence, just exited the mouth of Tony Schiavone. Just want to make you aware of that. He just said that on purpose.
Where, boy, something strange happens whether we win it that way or not.
Strange, I think historic is the proper term. And using the chair on Booker T coming back in,
Holy smokes. Is that why they removed the glass panel from that one side? Is so he could power bomb? I guess they're both out of there. Or you could pile drive him? That table kind of caved in. Now Jarrett's standing on it. How can he even throw a punch? I don't know, Shivani. Mike Witt's finally in the house. What's up? Hi, Greg and Chad. Hope you all had a great 4th. Fun fact, this is the last WCW pay-per-view you ever watched. Wow. I never really watched it at all. I'm getting my first look at it here, but thanks for the 5, Mike. It's a big night. I mean, I've never really been able to take in, like, Booker's, first world title win. Like, what a big night that was for him and his career.
He was inches away. Here goes Jarrett again for the figure 4. He got it this time. He cinched it and tied on Booker T. The figure 4. Lee has been exposed to such abuse in this contest, and Booker T also wrestled positively down the line tonight. Is he catching up with Booker T now? But even though Jeff Jarrett did not wrestle per se, think of the emotion he had to go through all day today with the politics of the Hogan scenario that we witnessed a few moments ago. That's got to grate at your heart, at your soul, at your emotion. Fighters are going to an all-time high. They're standing, they're chanting for Booker T. What does Booker T have left? The fans may be standing up.
Surviving a figure 4.
Jeff is probably in this figure 4 right now.
Well, here's the disadvantage we talked about of Booker having won earlier and Jarrett not, because he can't really turn this over. He can't power out, or can he?
How much has Booker T got left?
That's momentum now. Yeah.
He's swinging over, got him. And now, Bill's opens up.
Jarrett was so close to the ropes, he waited way too long to grab him, like when Booker flipped over the figure 4. He sells it, and then he grabs the rope.
Oh, this has been an amazing show. What great ring positioning by Jeff. Through all the race, Jarrett continues to focus the attack, to work the attack on the legs of Booker T. He's been undaunted. He has come in with a
Missed. Landed right on his ass.
arrogance cost him, guys, smirking, calling out to the fans. One too many seconds, and Booker T was able to rebound. Booker T blocking. I don't think toe-to-toe, as good as Jarrett is, that he can outpunch Booker T. Booker T holds on.
Yeah. Scissor kick or axe kick, whatever. The spinneroonie. We caught it that time. Guess the camera missed it the first time. Nice. Oh. I see a Taz shirt in the crowd, too. Boy, how the tide has turned. A couple years earlier, it was NWO shirts at WWE shows. Now, it's WWE shirts at WCW shows.
These guys can go. This is great. Yes, they can. I want to tell you, you look and you marvel and what they
Hollywood scum Hogan. Oh, missed the belt. Oh, and he uses the belt. I love it. Does he win like that? Oh my God, Jarrett survives the belt shot. Put Jarrett in the ring with Cena. Maybe he's the only one that can survive that. Jeff almost lost. Up, Jarrett's going to the outside. He's got a chair. He's trying to do that. It's hard to do that in the WCW ropes. There you go. Oh, that fucking chair did not move either. Jarrett probably legit rang his bell on that because he was probably expecting the chair to give way and him go into the ring post. But the chair didn't budge. It's like, dunk. Oh. He just hit the low blow in the skull-crushing finale? That seemed accidental. All right, low blow. Ref's down, low blow. He's already used the belt and the chair. Now he's got the guitar. I like that guitar. The balsa wood. Somebody coming down? Nope, fans are just waving at the Tron. There's the bookend. Ah, and there are referees in. The way the referees call for the bell in WCW is so ridiculous. Oh, it's the stroke, sorry. And the roof has been raised. Look at the fans raising the roof. That's when Raising the Roof came out. When did Raising the Roof come out? Around that time? I thought it was a little bit earlier than that. Good for you, Booker. Finally gets on the map, wins his first world title, wins a couple of them in WCW, wins a couple in WWE, or at least one. I mean, as much as I despise WCW, I was really happy to see this because, you know, one of their biggest glaring issues and problems was just the dinosaurs, you know, running everything and not allowing a new crop to rise to popularity, and it ended up hurting them. It's why WCW went out of business. So, like, finally to see them, you know, kind of say, oh, maybe these are the type of people we should put the belt on, you know, but by then it was just too little too late. Yeah, there's Shivani's hyping up Nitro already. What a crazy show, guys. Oh, my God. I am so glad we got that one done. Thank you very much for your patience, since we were supposed to do this last week, and we didn't get around to it until today. But I'm glad we finally watched it. It was about as bad as I was going to expect it to be. I didn't think it was going to be a terribly great pay-per-view, but I didn't care. Sometimes watching the bad ones can be fun. And this past year at WrestleMania, right, we did like 2, 11, 9. We've watched King of the Ring 1995 before. And I think before the month is over, we need to watch like maybe SummerSlam 1995, which is not a terribly great pay-per-view, but it is the 30th anniversary coming up next month in August. And we have SummerSlam this year coming up in just a couple of weeks. And next year, or next week, 1 week from tonight, we're going to be here probably watching Evolution or doing a big review on the whole weekend. Not really sure yet, but next Sunday is going to be booked for one or the other. So 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be back and we'll do a classic SummerSlam. Try to find one we haven't done yet, but I think 1995. If it doesn't get done in 2 weeks, we'll do it right before the month is out. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. The plan as of right now is for me to be up here tomorrow night after Raw. So join us for a Raw review. If for any reason Raw just on paper looks like it's going to suck ass, we might skip it, but it's our final push to get into Saturday night's main event and Evolution. So we might have some things going down. Also, keep in mind for Thursday, one thing that is for sure, Thursday we're going to do a big prediction for AEW All In, Saturday night's main event, and Evolution. So we're going to predict all 3 shows on Thursday. If Raw isn't looking too great tonight or tomorrow night, there is an outside possibility that I'll save my Raw comments for Thursday. We'll probably talk about Dynamite as well. But if it looks decent, we'll be up here tomorrow night for a review. Looking forward to a really, really big week of wrestling coming up. So thanks as always for being here. I'm pretty sure I got all the super chats. If I missed any, I will hit them tomorrow. But I doubled back and it does look like I got them all. And hopefully I didn't miss anybody. And if I did, I sincerely apologize. Thanks again, guys. Enjoy what's left of your holiday weekend here on this Sunday night. And I will be catching you guys tomorrow night after Raw. Peace.